And the third way that we can deal with Immanuel is we can live like Immanuel is what the Bible says he is. That he is God with us right now and in us. That we are seated with Christ in heavenly places, that his life is in us. Now, the cost of entry to this type of belief system is high. Don't get me wrong. This is saying I can't rely on my own strength. I'm a very independent person. If you've ever met me, I'm extremely independent. I do not like to ask for help. I don't like to rely on others. I like to just get it done myself, even if that means it's going to be done poorly. I'd rather do it myself than bring in some help and get it done right. I don't know why. We did a couples movie night here about a year ago, and I decided that it would be a great idea to populate the chapel with couches. And the church has a lot of couches up on the second floor, or we did before Tim threw a bunch of them away because they smelled like mold. Thank you for that. And so I came up here by myself and brought all the couches down from the second floor to the chapel by myself, wore myself out, and I was aching and hurting, even though there's people that had said, if you need help doing anything, just give me a call. The cost of entry to relying on God is high, especially for an independent person. We can't rely on our own strength. But for all people, it's still high. We have to acknowledge that our salvation wasn't by work. You know, that's hard. I don't know why. Like, not doing work is harder for me to believe that God is pleased with me for doing nothing than it is for me to just accept that he loves me. Like, I want to have earned it because I'm probably not willing to give away my love quite as freely. And so I don't have that frame of reference. I want to give my love away that freely. But if I don't have God in my life, I can't. And so now I have to accept before I have God in my life that he was willing to love me without me doing anything, right? Yeah. So this cost of entry is high because it's living by his life, by his strength, by his counsel, by his wisdom. And I'm going to say, I am not going to be the master of my own ship. I'm not going to steer it. I'm going to allow God to do it. Because his life is in me. We're joined together as one. Yeah, I still get to be me. I still have my personality, my expressions, my humor, my whatever, my strengths, my talents. But now I'm going to rely on God to use those for his glory. And he's going to work through me and as me. Now, the consequence to this lifestyle is victorious living an abundant life, okay? So even though it's this very high cost of entry to get in and to walk in this belief, and by the way, when I say get into this is not salvation, okay? You can be saved and not have this belief. And God still loves you, and God still adores you and thinks the world of you and wants to be with you. But I'm talking about how does it play out in your life? And that's where the difficulty comes in, is living this way. In Ephesians 2, 8-9, it says, "For grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest anyone should boast." And it's this idea that he's freely given it to us. You don't earn it. You don't have to do anything. It's there. But then in Galatians 2:20, it brings a little bit of that cost of entry back. Because it says, I have been crucified with Christ. You know, that's a big statement right there. I have been crucified with Christ, and it's no longer I who live, but it's Christ who lives in me. And this life, which I have to live out in this body, in this physical flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loves me and gave himself for me.